podcast, and I guess it's appropriate that we kind of just see how things are going and give you guys an update and let you know how Vanessa's feeling. Well, she can let you know how she's feeling. And I don't know, I have a couple of questions for you that I hope that will help inspire encouragement for those that might be listening or following your journey. I know it hasn't been easy for sure. Just seeing it firsthand, at the same time, it doesn't account for actually feeling what you feel, So I'm always trying to be careful too that I'm graceful and gracious, but also that I try not to allow what maybe my own thoughts might be to interfere with how you might be feeling.
What do you mean?
Like it might be easy for somebody to get frustrated or something, or treat you like you, why can't you do that? Or, you know what I mean? Or how come you can't walk faster or something, when I'm not the one that feels what you're feeling, or, my body's not feeling what your body's feeling. So I guess, so how are you feeling now? This has been a week and a half?
Yeah, like a week and a half. I'm tired. That's like just the perfect word. I'm tired, like emotionally, I'm tired mentally, I'm tired physically. I was telling Joe this morning that like there's nothing like wanting, like when your brain is either healing faster than your body is, or your brain says we have to be here and it can't be, your body is not ready to be there. You know what I mean? And then there's something wrong, but you can't know yet until you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's dealing between, no, it's okay, it's going to be okay, versus like, like Chicken Little, the sky is falling. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
I see what you're saying.
So.
Yeah, I we have friends too that are going through some things as well. Mm-hmm. And having their perspective has been really encouraging and really helpful for me. And I had a friend that was saying that now that she's going through what she's going through, her heart rate, her blood pressure is just completely different.
Yeah.
So she had to understand what her new kind of normal is for the moment, so that she doesn't freak out every time. She just now knows what her body's doing. And so I was telling you earlier that I'm just hopeful that in the process you can find whatever your body's doing, you can find a reasonable response so that you don't freak out every time or feel like, not that it's not important, but it's not a 911 emergency every time.
Yeah. It's weird that I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about the new normal. Like I got out, I was ready for the first probably hour of our day. Like I looked semi-normal, like myself, my eyes I felt like I could, like, it's weird, but like when I'm feeling okay, like even in my eyes, I feel like it's my normal self. But then the moment like I'm not feeling good, my blood pressure's changing, my heart rate's changing, like I feel like I just like there's a light that just kind of like dims, and then I'm just tired. You know what I mean? So, but it was weird because I was thinking today, I was praying this morning, and I was thinking about, as I was talking to God, I was thinking that this, even though somebody might say, well, I don't have heart issues, I don't have SVT, I don't have, like COVID, or I don't have this, like this scenario right now in this moment happens to everybody. And what I mean by this is that life is uncertain. For whatever reason, it's uncertain.
Yeah, that's true.
And every time a new normal is different. And you, in order to be okay in that place, to not feel guilty because that's your new norm. Say, for example, like you lost your job, and now your new normal is eating rice and beans. And your new normal is, no, we can't do this. No, we can't do that. Without feeling guilty like you're a bad mom or you can't provide, or, you know what I mean? Knowing that God is still good because God's still providing rice and beans. You know what I mean? Like to see that way and to take this perspective, God is still good. God is still here. And to keep believing that this is not your forever state. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though I'm feeling this way, there's so many out there that people that are feeling overwhelmed because they're feeling like my new normal sucks. You know what I mean? Like, is this really my new normal?
Ooh, yeah.
I was laughing because I was texting Pastor Gabriel, asked me like, how are you feeling today? And I just said, it's a process suck. And I'm like, I deleted the suck part. I go, it's different. It's hard. You know, like,
Yeah.
but it's like, that's the perfect word. Like, new normals suck,
Yeah.
you know, and just because, you know, you're in that place, it doesn't feel good. It's not fun. Like, it doesn't mean that there's not good still in that normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, right now, like, you've been home, like, you've been helping me with Lily with her homework. You've been making food. Like, even though I'm not feeling good and this is the new normal, like, you're home. You know what I mean? Like, that's not, usually you're not home, like, all day. You know, so even though I might not be able to enjoy you because I'm not feeling well, like, at least I have help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like knowing and believing and still being able to say, God, you're good. You're good. You're so good. Even though you don't feel like he's good, he is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it. I'm reminded of something our pastor just shared with us, or he
Yesterday?
shared with, I think maybe the day before yesterday. And he was saying that, you know, he's been going through a lot himself, you know, and I think he said in 5 months he's had 5 procedures.
Yeah.
And it's just been like one thing after another.
Yeah.
And he just, you know, in a moment of just kind of like calm and reflection, you know, he let me know that when the doctor told him, you know, he had his gallbladder out and he had gone through that process and was just on the verge of healing up, and the doctor tells him, you know, we're going to have to potentially take out your kidney. And so he just said, okay, you know, and when he had a moment to himself, he just kind of wept over the idea, you know, and he said, I'm not scared of dying or going under the knife. I'm not scared of, you know, anything that people might think that there is to be afraid of, and with good reason. You know, people are afraid of things. He goes, but I wasn't afraid of any of those things. He goes, I was, I guess, solemn about the idea of another process.
The pain.
And so in that word
crazy.
Process is all of those things, right? Like,
so much going on.
And so during this process for you, what are some of maybe the biggest lessons that you've pulled out of what this process has brought to you so far?
Oh my God, why do you have to ask me that?
I don't know. Maybe I wanted to see you cry, or no, I'm just kidding.
You're savage.
No,
it's, you know, it's funny that before this happened, I had just gone over surgery, not surgery, but the procedure with my back where they had to do the cartilization. And I mean, it's pretty gruesome, guys. That's a pretty painful procedure. Like, my back's all swollen. Like, I got like injections all over my back. It's so swollen. Like, it's hard to like sit on the toilet. Like, Joe's over there like helping me and with every single possible thing you could imagine. Combing my hair, washing me like a little baby. Like, it's a process. So I'm done. I'm almost done with that. I'm sitting on the bed and I'm singing this song. I'm singing the song from Maverick, the one where it says, just purify me and just basically make me go through fire to just like purify my heart. You know, that nothing is left but what he wants.
Yeah.
And as I'm singing that song, I'm not really thinking of like what that means.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that's a good point.
I'm like, I've never seen that song ever in my life.
You're off my playlist.
That's right. And I'm like, but I'm sitting there, and that week that this happened, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what else was left of me, of Vanessa? And Vanessa, it's still like, regardless of who we are always going to struggle with something. It doesn't matter who you are or how holy you think you are or what kind of title you have. Like, you're always going to battle because you're flesh, you're human.
That's right.
So me, Vanessa, is that I have to be there for people. I have to be a good mom. I have to be there for you. I have to, if I'm not ready or if I can't get ready or look nice, like, what else is left of me if the things that make me is not like that I think is special. You know, people ask me for opinion about clothes and I share about makeup. I share about this. I share about, you know, like being strong and all this stuff. Well, what about if all that's stripped away? what about if I can't get ready? What about if I can't even like have energy to put makeup on? What about if I can't be strong for somebody because I'm so tired? What happens? Does that mean that I'm unvaluable? Like, that doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
God is still good, and God is still, he's my strength. He is everything inside of me. And if everything is stripped away, he is enough. Like, he is enough. And that's it.
And it reminds me of that video you shared with me. It just jacked me up. I was literally in the car by myself waiting for you, you know, when you were having that that checkup, you know, just or was it the procedure? I was waiting outside, and it was just like this lady sharing her testimony, or this woman, and she literally was just praying over the concept, like, if nothing goes my way in this situation, is God enough? You know, and that just threw me for a loop, and I couldn't be more proud of how you've, you know, pulled yourself through and continued to seek God. And if anything, you know, if the devil's watching, you know, he made a mistake, because if he thought that you were going to just bow out, you know, and stop doing what you were doing, he was sadly mistaken. And I think for you to even go harder still, you know, not physically, but in prayer, in worship, in seeking God and what it is that he has for you. Like, I'm just so blessed to have you, you know, as an example for the kids and my wife. And I'm just really proud of you for that. So I'm really grateful, even just for the opportunity to serve you. You know, it's been different than I ever expected. I wish I was one of those guys that I wish I would have read the books, you know, that were recommended to me and put them into practice so that I could just learn that way and not have to learn this way.
Oh man, I was just thinking about the other day when somebody said, man, Joe's such a sweetheart. Like, he's there. He's such a great nurse. And I'm just like, my eyes like start twitching, because I'm just like, did you know why he had to learn to be a good nurse? Jesus. Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know, I don't want to drag you on too long either. You know, I know that you get a good hour or so, and after that you're pretty much done for the day. But I've been really appreciative of just how God has shown up, you know, and even to the point now where, you know, I'm grateful, you know, grateful for just your life. I remember, you know, every morning I usually pray a prayer that's very similar, right? Kind of like my common prayer. And it usually goes something like, you know, God, thank you for another day of life. Just help me. This is my morning prayer. You know, help me to use this day to represent you well. You know, help me to be grateful. Help me to see your hand at work in my life, and help me to be the light wherever you send me. And I remember one of the nights where you were just like, can you just pray? You know, and it was one of the nights that you couldn't sleep well. And I remember, I'll pray. And so I just said, Lord, thank you for another day of life. And then when I said that, I was like, how many times have I prayed that, taking for granted that, like, yeah, I'm going to have another day, you know? And so when I was praying that over you, and I just couldn't go, like my body, like I just wanted to just stop and really just think about when I said, thank you for another day of life. Like, I didn't need to go any further. I could have stopped right there in my prayer and said everything that I needed to say, and God would have known exactly what I meant. You know, just knowing my heart, and this idea that you almost weren't there anymore. You know, that praying for that other day of life was truly a gift. It was something that I had, for a moment's time, it almost wasn't there. You know, and I was just so grateful for that. And it reminded me of this idea that, you know, if you ever get frustrated at yourself, or you feel guilty because I have to do this or do that for you, or because I have to help the kids with the homework and you can't, like, don't ever feel guilty, because for me, it is a blessing and a privilege, because there was a moment of time where I didn't think that you would come home, you know, that I wouldn't get to see you again. And now I do. You know, so I'd much rather serve you every day and help you go to the restroom and shower you and whatever it is that I had to do, rather than not have you here and not get to do those things, you know? So please don't ever feel guilty about any of it. Like I'd do this every day of the week for the rest of my life if it means that I have you in it, you know? And so I'm grateful. You know, I love you very much. And if there's anything that this is teaching me, it's just how to be a better servant, you know? And it's 15 years ago, you know, I was griping while doing the dishes and you were upset with me, you know, because you wanted me to smile and sing and do the dishes.
I wanted little birds to be flying in.
Yeah, you wanted me to be like dancing in the kitchen while I'm drying the dishes, you know, and singing "Fly Me to the Moon" or something. I don't know, but it's just like that's not real life, you know. And now here we are, going through some things, and I'm just praying that God continue to help me be who you need me to be, you know, continue molding me as well. And to the point now where it's like, I find the blessing and the joy in serving my wife and not just looking to be served. And even if you can't give me all the things that you think you should be, you know, your time or holding hands or going places or whatever, like that doesn't mean anything if I don't have you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm finding the joy now in service and serving you and knowing that I can provide for you and not just go to work or lift heavy things, right? But I can love you in sickness and in health, you know, for better or worse. And I can serve you in the good and in the bad and be joyful and know that I'm doing God's work also when I serve my wife, you know, and I can provide you not just financially, but love and affection and taking care of the kids, you know, being a dad to the kids and helping out around the house or whatever I can do. I don't know. I love you very much.
Thank you, Marianne. And, you know, we were texting on Sunday and I was telling you, like, you know, a lot of the time I know that as women, like, we probably, like, nag a lot, you know, of things that we need from you guys and are constant. But there's something so valuable when it's done, like, so selflessly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so different. And I wish that it wouldn't have to be where it's this way, where you had to learn it this way. You know what I mean? So if there's guys out there, if you're out there, if you're listening and your wife is healthy and she's walking and, you know, you don't have to be in the hospital with her, or she's not, you know, dying on a deathbed, or where she's not, you know, where she's available for you to enjoy. Serve her while she's healthy. Don't wait till she's sick. Don't wait till she's not okay to say, what can I do for you? How can I serve you? You know, and it goes both ways, you know, and there's something so great in just in marriage alone. You know, a lot of the times we kind of get complacent in being just, we're married. This is where it goes. Like, it goes where you take it, you know, it really does. And if you just really make the effort to be there to serve each other, whether you're Christian or non-Christian, or whether one is and one's not, you know, like, if you have God's love in your heart and you're able to serve the person you love with everything you have, you know, and just think, okay, what can I do to make their day the best day that I possibly can? Don't do it because you're going to get something in return, but you will get something in return.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like, for sure. So, you know, like, I hope that you guys can do it and use us as a guinea pig, and don't wait till God says, like, oh,
learn the lessons now.
Seriously, please learn the lessons now. You know, you guys, like, you deserve that. Like, I was praying and I was telling God, like, man, like, how is there any other way? You know, I heard about, you know, the SVT being this process of what they said I have, of, like, just horrible processes, like, to get to finally figuring out how to fix what the malfunction in my heart. And I'm like crying and I'm telling God, like, please, 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 like, please don't let that happen. Like, have mercy over me. Like, if there's any way that I can just get through this without having to do all that, I will appreciate it. I'll be so happy. And it made me think about when Jesus was asking God, like, God, Father, if there's another way, please remove this from me. But he did it anyways. He did it for us. He did it out of love. Like, he put himself through the process just for us out of love. If there's not a bigger sacrifice than that, like to give your life, to put yourself in harm's way for the people you love, for us, for me, for you, like, I don't know what is. And if we can't throw out the trash simply without making a face, like, we have a lot to learn. And that means we need to be closer to the one that gave it all, so he can rub off on us,
For sure. And I think the most powerful part about that moment, when Jesus was praying, is just the ability to know that even though you're scared or you're worried or you're stressed, at the end to say, but your will be done. To surrender yourself, to say, okay, this is my desire, right? If there's any other way, but in the end, I'm going to do what I need to do or what I have to do to be obedient, to serve the Father. If you can do that as a spouse, that no matter how you feel, no matter what you think or how it should be, if you could just say, I'm going to serve, no matter what, like, you're going to open so many doors to such a deeper relationship than you even ever thought or expected to be possible. That's important.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep updating you guys as we go along. And if you're hearing this and if there's any questions that you might have, just for us or of us or about what Vanessa's going through, let us know. We'll answer you directly. We'll, even if we just have to make a quick short, a 1-minute video or something, we'll get to your question.
Yeah. And welcome to the new subscribers. We got some new subscribers. So thank you. We love you guys. Welcome to the GFL family.
Appreciate you.
And it's nice to have you guys here, and I hope that you feel a little bit less alone, just knowing that we're in your corner, and you don't just see us on YouTube and then it stops there. Like, you can contact us, you can reach me at Instagram. Most of you guys do, awesome. And just know that is a thing. Like, you're not alone. You really are not.
Amen. Well, let's pray.
Okay.
Lord, thank you for giving us this opportunity to just share about what it is that you're doing in our life. Thank you for saving Vanessa and giving her another opportunity at life. Lord, help us and those that are listening to live it better, to live well, to love others, to love you. Help us to put it in our hearts, your word and your principles, your ways. Lord, and help us above all to want to seek and strive to have a better relationship with you, knowing that a better relationship with you will affect all the other areas of our life for better. Lord, we thank you, we bless you, we love you. In Jesus' name we pray.